So as fall came into full swing, I was dedicating my time to doing what I love most, capturing it. Running up and down New England, staying at my favorite places, and admiring the beauty of it all. This mountainside cabin in West Bolton, Vermont is one of the first spots I fell in love with. I stayed here back when I was working for Land Rover in 2017 and have come back every year since. There's no running water, used to be no electricity, but now they have little solar LEDs. And the cabin was made by hand from the lumber on the land. It's a quirky and wild design, one of a kind. And every time I'm here, I feel a weight lift off my shoulders. One of the best parts is that you have to collect your water from a spring down the hill. It's places like this that I find myself skipping around, singing melodies that come to my head out of the thin air. Little creative chickadees in the trees, it seems. But that's probably just nature in general. It's so good to be outside amongst the trees, especially if you live a hectic life.
Back roads and coffee are two things I love. Back roads and blondies are two things I love. I tell you them all, but the truth of it was, two is never enough. Give me all life's simple pleasures. Give me all the little loves. I'll die a happy man if I have all life's simple pleasures.
And then one day, I made a voyage in my old truck up to northern Vermont to buy an old green wood stove for my cabin. These mini adventures through the fire of fall really gave me time to reflect and think about things. Long drives are my second favorite activity behind time and nature, and they often cross paths. You never know what you're gonna run into or what little spot you might stumble across. I spent plenty golden mornings close to home too, and even took the old van out to stretch its legs a few times.
What are you,
I'm just going to switch you over to the...
It could look interesting with the...
And then one morning I finally got out shooting with my friend Giles. I met him through a mentor of mine, and he has since created all the photo prints I've ever sold. He's a genius, and truly one of the best printers in the world. He also let me use his old Hasselblad and wooden tripod setup. It was my first time shooting on medium format film. It felt surreal with that setup, just sipping coffee and snapping film photos as the sun rises. There's really no other way I want to spend my days. That morning we shot was easily some of the best and brightest foliage I've ever seen. It was peak, and once the morning sun hit, it seemed to catch fire. We were kids in a playground, all morning long. There's this tree that hangs out over the water that I call the dreaming tree. It really looks like something from a storybook. I climbed it just as the sun was peeking over the hills, and it was in full bloom color. And the view from up top of the water and the foliage felt like you were in a painting. It was mesmerizing. And so we watched the hills come alive from the shore before dashing on. There truly is nothing like New England in the fire of fall. You have to just keep pinching yourself.
That's some excellent stuff.
Oh, yeah.
A beautiful day indeed. And so towards the end of October, I had planned a trip to a treehouse in Maine with my friend Allie. We were to take my old truck on the long journey, and it ended up being one of the best memories I have.
Wow.
Of course, we had to do the usual pit stops, and I wanted to show her the updates on the cabin.
What do you have to...
What's that?
What do you have to post?
Um,
Squints.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, nice to meet you, Squints. And he's like, yeah, he calls me Squints. And then the kid goes outside and he proceeds to tell us this huge story about the, I don't know what, from the church.
man, you're up there just dancing. Yeah.
Forest is alive, man.
The forest really was alive. Beech leaves were falling the whole time we were there. It was magic.
Did you tell Johnny about Uncle Tom?
Yes. I told him quite a few people about it.
That was... Red door?
I think it was the side one, right?
Yeah, it was.
We went to that
It was a beautiful drive up, relaxing and slow with good music. And once we got there, we spent nearly all of our time in the wood-fired hot tub. It was rainy and windy most of the time we were there, and that just made everything cozier. In fact, the night we spent there was insanely windy, but the trees protected us as we soaked in the tub, and the world just whistled above our heads. It was spiritual, honestly. When the elements show you their strength in such a way, you realize how little control you actually have. Succumbing to that is the ultimate mental freedom. We got to wake up to the rain. Allie made a delicious breakfast, and we sipped coffee while waiting for the tub to warm. The air was so cold, and the tub got so hot that the sensation was hard to even interpret. It felt wild.
Time to really get it.
It truly was an unforgettable stay.
Might go top off my motorcycle.
That is definitely the move.
The end of October was spent searching for the last of the peak fall leaves and getting breakfast with the family at Elmer's a few times. Liam, what do you think? Is it like the one from the book?
Yeah, I know it's kind of cool.
Wow, look at this.
By now, a lot of the leaves had fallen. And that's what makes autumn so beautiful. The fact that it doesn't last forever. I often hear people say they wish fall were year-round. But then it wouldn't be such a spectacle. It would just be another day. Fall teaches us to let things go. And sometimes it's the things we love most. But we know deep down that there is no other way. And to go against that knowledge is how you end up trapped. Let it all happen as it wants. And listen to the world around you. Go with the flow. Know that change is what keeps us moving forward. Without it, every day would just be the same.
No, I might.
I even managed to get out fishing with my dad this fall. And if I compared that to the year prior, I worked so often I hardly allowed time for family, never mind leisure. But life is so much more than chasing dollars or even chasing foliage. It's about the little adventures. It's about being open to spontaneity. It's about spending time with the people that matter. It's about putting the things that make you happy first and letting the rest unfold as it should. Talk soon.